Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to present my critical reading analysis based on the article written by NG 2012. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is UTS Sezega, student ID 240050087. Okay, for my title, a critical reading analysis of teaching digital literacy to digital native in the context of student engagement and reading motivation. Okay, article review. Can we teach digital native digital literacy? And article review implication assumption. After I read this article, I can look the assumption for this article. The concept of digital native was first proposed by Pinsicker 2001 as a genre of people born in the after 1918. He described digital native as people who live their life immersed in digital technologies. Next, metacognitive application in my critical reading process. This is I have three strategies. First, monitoring, evaluation, second, evaluation, and third, regulation. Monitoring is being aware of how my understand challenge while reading about digital native and digital literacy concept. And example, I noticed that I often assume students are really good with technology, and I realized I needed to check whether that assumption is true based off on the article. The second evaluating. This is critical assessment. The outdoor claims and in the evidence about digital literacy skill and the role of teachers. For example, I questioned whether students' ability to use technology automatically means they have strong digital literacy, and I evaluate the research findings that show they still need guidance. The third, regulating, adjust my thinking by connecting the article to my own experience with technology in learning. For example, I reflected on how I something use technology only for entertainment. Then I tried to think about how I could use it more purposefully, just like what the author suggests for digital natives. Which article did you choose and why? I chose this article because I explore how digital native can be effective, how digital literacy skill in a area in an era dominated by technology. The article discusses challenges faced by teachers in helping students go beyond using technology for entertainment and instead use it for learning and critical thinking. What was the most important thing that you learned from the text you choose to read? The most important things I learned from Engine's article is that digital literacy is not just about technical skills, but also about critical thinking and responsibility perceived online. It reminded me that being good with technology does not mean being digital literate. Literacy informs understanding, effort, and creating digital content versus. What editions or questioning come to mind as you were reading and thinking about this article? Reading this article made me question how teachers can integrate digital literacy into their reading lessons. As I am reflecting on the reading, several questions come to my mind. First, how can school balance between teacher technical skill and building student critical awareness? Second, and how can teacher access student digital literacy effectively? These questions, I think, open responsibilities for future studies, especially in the context of elementary education. And my referential is my article, Kurniawan D. NPM, Buckham, MG, W, Lenskier, C, and Knobler, M, and UNESCO. This is I chose the NGW 2012. So my conclusion to conclude this article reading helped me realize that teaching digital literacy required more than introduction new technology. It involves guiding students to think critical action ethically and I use digital tools for meaningful learning and learning. And this article highlights the teacher roles in transforming the alternative into digital literate learners. Right.